Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from the campus of Newton South High School in Newton, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity softball contest between the visiting Chieftains of Masconomet Regional High School and the hosting Newton South Lions. Well, folks, we are almost to the end of this 2026 spring regular season. Some teams, including Newton South, will be playing one more game tomorrow on Saturday, but then after that, the MIAA will be compiling their playoff brackets, and we'll be getting ready for some postseason action. And this matchup features two teams that are both riding some significantly hot winning streaks into playoff berths in their respective divisions. Masconomet, the visitors from Division II, they come into this game with a record of 12 wins and 6 losses. They have won 4 straight games coming into this one. Newton South, believe it or not, running even hotter coming into this one. The Lions riding into this game on an 8-game winning streak, dating back the last couple of weeks. It's been a while since Newton South lost a game as they come into this one with a record of 11-6. That's right, the Lions at one point were 3 games under 500. Seemed like the young team was just going to take this as a building year and miss the playoffs, but then all of a sudden they just caught fire and got win after win after win after win. And now 8 games into a winning streak here. They stand at 11 wins and 6 losses, having already clinched a winning season and an automatic playoff berth in the MIAA Division I softball playoffs. Granted, due to a weaker strength of schedule, Newton South, as things stand right now, would be going into the play-in round of the playoffs, as the most recent MIAA Division I power rankings that were updated this morning had Newton South standing at the 36th spot in Division I. So since they're outside the top 32, they still qualify for the playoffs with a winning record. Yes. Not at all. There's the URL for the channel, a QR code that you can use with your phone's camera to pull up the channel, and you can find the stream pretty easily once you got that channel.
I'll try and tell that to an 8-year-old.
Yeah, well, if you get the link for the game itself, you can just text it to her. Yeah. No problem, man. Enjoy the game. So, yeah, with Newton South taking the 36th spot in the power rankings, they would go into the play-in round. As things currently stand, they are the second highest team outside the top 32 that is slated to make the tournament. You know, things might change in the next couple of days. We'll see. But if it stays that way, then Newton South would be traveling to face the 31st ranked team in Division I for the play-in round to see if they could punch their ticket to the round of 32. Masconomet, meanwhile, in Division II, they are currently standing at 21st in the power rankings, so they would just go straight into the round of 32 in their playoff berth, and they'd likely be playing on the road. I mean, depending on how many teams outside the top 32 make it, but it would have to be a very high number for the 21st ranked team to be playing in the play-in round. We can see the Masconomet Chieftains wrapping up their warm-ups in the field, so soon the Newton South Lions will take to the field for the top of the first inning. And so let's take a look at the starting lineups here today. First for the Masconomet Chieftains, leading off for Masconomet, the left fielder, number 7, Allie Kelter. Batting second, the shortstop, number 15, Sabrina Caffarelli. Batting third and playing third for the Chieftains, number 13, Angie Vecchio. Batting cleanup, the second baseman, number 12, Delilah Katsos. Batting fifth, the catcher, number 10, Gianna Martin. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 4, Amy Quimby. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 9, Emma McCormick. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 23, Izzy Brown. And batting ninth, the designated player, number 8, Amelia Palermo. Not in the batting order, but starting in the circle for Masconomet today, number 3, Sydney Vocino. Now let's go over as we see the Newton South Lions getting ready to warm up in the field. Let's go through the starting lineup for the Lions today. Leading off for Newton South, the shortstop, number 4, Maddie Andrade. Batting second, the right fielder, number 2, Lila Cool. Batting third, the catcher, number 67, Zoe Spector. Batting cleanup and starting in the circle for Newton South today, number 28, Sophie Nathanson. Batting fifth, the center fielder, number 1, Yasmin Salim. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 8, Riley Cabrera. Batting seventh, the third baseman, number 11, Kaylee Boulay. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 7, Bailey Paisner. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 6, Mana Sasaki. Head coach for the Newton South softball team is Jesus Rodriguez. So those are our starting lineups for today. As we got some pretty good temperatures for a softball game here today. Temperatures in the low 60s. An overcast day, so not a lot of sun to be had. Some occasional breezes, but nothing crazy. I remember the last game I covered, I think it was the Framingham game. We had some real gusting winds during that one. I was worried people were going to choke on the infield dust that was being blown around. That's how crazy the wind was. But today, pretty mild, you know, and here's hoping those clouds don't lead to any precipitation. We certainly don't want to see that on the day of a softball game. As always, fans, if there's anything you'd like to say throughout this live stream, I encourage you to say it either in the live chat system here on YouTube, or if you're not comfortable or not able to access YouTube's live chat, you can also send me an email. You can see my email in the bottom right corner of your screen. If there's any messages you'd like to send me, you know, could be as simple as, you know, go Newton South or go Lions or even go Masconomet. We don't care who it is you're rooting for. We always appreciate fans bringing the good vibes and showing support in the live chat. And then maybe you want to shout out a specific favorite player of yours. Maybe you're tuning into this game to watch a family member or a friend, and you want to give them a shout out specifically. That's always fun. What can also be pretty fun is letting us know where it is you're tuning in from. You know, with these online live streams that can be watched all over the world, sometimes we get folks tuning in from different states, or, you know, I've occasionally even seen some people tuning in from different countries. So that can be a fun little comment to see throughout the broadcast, just to know how far the fan base spreads out. And then on a more important side, if you notice any technical difficulties with the live stream in any way, with the video, with the audio, with the camera angle, with anything, then I encourage you to speak up and say something, because you never know. It may be something I don't notice on my end, and it might be something that's an easy fix that'll make the stream much better. So if you notice something, speak up and say something. And then, of course, if you notice me flubbing the pronunciation of any players' names, again, I encourage you to speak up and correct me. I want to give these student athletes the best coverage I can, and to me, part of that does mean giving them the honor and dignity of pronouncing their name correctly. So if you notice me messing up any pronunciations, I encourage you to, again, speak up and say something either in the live chat or on email. You're not bothering me if you do so. You're helping me. So if you notice it, speak up and say something. Newton South wrapping up their warm-ups. We'll soon get this game started. And this is the senior day game for this Newton South softball team, but a very young Newton South team. They've only got one senior this year, and that is number 21, Maya Paskover, who unfortunately has missed the entire season due to injury, but she has stayed an active part of the team in a team manager role throughout the season. We see coaches and captains meeting with the officials at home plate before we get this one underway.
Yeah, to 7-Eleven. It's real. If I find the picture, there was the 7-Eleven that had like shelf stable like egg salad, and I was just like, I don't know.
All right, here we go. The Newton South Lions taken to the field for the top of the first inning. And stepping into the circle in a position that she's had a virtual monopoly on for Newton South this spring, number 28, Sophie Nathanson. I was talking with Coach Jesus Rodriguez before the game, and he talked about how one of the exciting things for the future of this team is he expects the team's going to have about 3 pitchers on the roster next year as opposed to just 1 this year. And that could be huge. Pitching depth can be a big factor. I know in softball they don't have the same kind of intense pitch count rules that they have in baseball, as there's a lot less concern about softball pitchers destroying their elbows with the windmill underarm delivery that they bring. But still, having a bullpen that you can go to when a game is tight late in the game, having extra pitchers that can give your arms a break, keep them fresh, could be a huge factor in the seasons to come for the Lions. But for now, they're going to continue to ride with Nathanson, as it's been serving them well so far. Leading off for the visiting Masconomet Chieftains, the left fielder, number 7, Allie Kelter. First pitch of the game, catches the low part of the zone, strike 1. Goes off speed with that one, and it dips below the zone, ball 1. That one in the zone perfectly for strike 2. 1-2, Nathanson ahead in the count here. And that one fouled off by Kelter, stays alive. She wasn't going to get fooled on a ball to the low corner again like on the first pitch. And Nathanson mixed it up with the rise ball there, but again, Kelter gets a piece of it. Stays alive at 1-2. Off speed, fools her completely. Kelter way out on front on that swing as Nathanson gets her first K of the day. Now batting the shortstop, number 15, Sabrina Caffarelli. First pitch comes in low, ball 1. And that one again hits the zone. Nathanson working the movement on her pitches well so far. That one just misses outside, ball 2. This one hit, diving snag at short, but Maddie Andrade can't pop back up fast enough as Caffarelli gets the infield single. That's the tough thing about diving plays, especially on the left side of the infield, is it's not enough to just snag the ball. You have to be able to pop back up and make the long throw to first base, and just not enough time there. Runner at first, 1 out. Up comes the third baseman, number 13, Angie Vecchio. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. That one low, well blocked by the catcher, Zoe Spector, to keep the runner at first base, but it will be ball 1. That one low again, ball 2. Nathanson largely been living in the lower part of the zone and below the zone in this first inning. That one hit, a grounder up the middle, cannot be snagged by Paisner. And that'll be another single for the Chieftains. Two on now, and up comes the second baseman, number 12, Delilah Katsos. Fastball there misses, ball 1. Chase that one low and only gets a piece of it. Strike 1. Masconomet threatening here in the top of the first inning with 2 on and only 1 out. That one hits the zone for strike 2. Swing and a miss. Nathanson with her second K of the inning and a big second out get. Now batting the catcher, number 10, Gianna Martin. That one hits the zone, strike 1. Slices that one foul and out of play. Nathanson ahead in the count here, 0-2. Nathanson trying to get out of the first inning with no scores allowed, despite the 2 base hits. That one fouled off by Martin. Stays alive at 0-2. And that time went for kind of an off-speed pitch there that just never dipped. High ball 1. That one was a proper drop change, but not only results in ball 2, but also a wild pitch that moves both runners into scoring position. 2-2 the count, 2 down, runners at second and third here in the top of the first inning. And that one's lined out to right, gonna drop in. 2 runs are going to score off the 2-out RBI single from Gianna Martin. And that is a tough break for the Lions. 1 strike away from ending the inning scoreless. And then a wild pitch, and then a big swing of the bat. And now Masconomet's got the 2-0 lead. Now batting the center fielder, number 4, Amy Quimby. First pitch, pops it up, Paisner under it, and that'll be a quick 1 pitch out to finish the top of the first. A hot start for the visitors as Masconomet takes the 2-0 lead. Newton South will be trying to answer at the top of their batting order, Andrade, Cool, and Spector. Warming up in the circle for Masconomet is their pitcher number 3, Sydney Vocino. And having a slight bit of trouble with the first base bag, as don't know how well you guys can see it from the camera view, but it's a little bit lifted off the ground. So we're going to have a bit of a pause in the action here, so that they can get like something to scoop out the dirt or something. Might be some dirt in the hole that the peg for the base needs to go into. You know, a nice little look at the behind the scenes of softball groundskeeping here. You know, this is kind of behind the scenes stuff that you don't think about when you're watching the games. It's all the little things that go into making it so the game can be played, and this is one of those small things, is making sure the ground is properly kept so that the field is in a playable condition to begin with. All right, looks like first base is all set. And now we're ready to get this one going here in the bottom of the first. Leading off for Newton South, the shortstop, number 4, Matty Andrade. First pitch from Vocino is in the zone for strike 1. Hits a hard grounder past the third baseman into left. Andrade is going to hold at first with a leadoff single. Newton South starting out well on offense. They've got a leadoff runner aboard. Now batting, the right fielder, number 2, Lila Cool. First pitch, she skies it into shallow right. It's going to be caught for out number 1. That fly ball, a bit of a wild card into shallow right, but ultimately tracked well by Emma McCormick. Out in right for Masconomet. 1 out, runner at first. Up comes the catcher, number 67, Zoe Spector. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. You could see catcher Gianna Martin popping up quick as she's keeping an eye on the Newton South base runner, Maddie Andrade. Spector hits a bouncer over to short, bobbled.
Yeah, good hustle, Maddie.
Was thinking about the throw before she had the ball in her glove. Caffarelli couldn't quite field that one cleanly. Spector reaches on the E6. Now batting the pitcher, number 28, Sophie Nathanson. First pitch, rise ball comes in high, ball 1. Nathanson almost got out of the top half of the inning with no score, ended up giving up 2. Now trying to help out her own cause at the plate. Slices the low pitch foul for strike 1. Vocino working upstairs and downstairs to start this at bat. And high again as Nathanson checks her swing. 2-1 the count. That one comes in low for ball 3. It's been high, low, the alternating placements from Vocino here. Now a hitter's count to Nathanson at 3-1. And a high rise ball as Nathanson loads the bases with a walk. Now batting the center fielder, number 5, Yasmin Salim. It's the kind of player you love to have up in these kinds of situations as she lifts that one foul into right field. Salim has had at least 1 extra base hit in each of the 2 previous games that we've covered on this channel. And an extra base hit in this situation would certainly break the game, or at least tie the game up, if not potentially give Newton South the lead. Hits a liner into left. That will score 1. It's an RBI single for Yasmin Salim as Newton South is on the board. And again, that's why you love having a player like Salim at bat in those situations. And now a high ball 1 there at the plate for Newton South, the first baseman, number 8, Riley Cabrera. Tying run at third, go-ahead run at second. Cabrera skies it straight up in the air, and they're going to call an infield fly. Was caught anyway. And that'll be the second out. Now batting the third baseman, number 11, Kaylee Boulay. First pitch, and she lines a shot into left. That drops fair. Extra bases. Newton South takes the lead as they call a ground rule double, I think. I thought I saw hands going up. They call for the ground rule double, and Kaylee Boulay with a shot down the line flips the script and gives Newton South the lead. Now batting the second baseman, number 7, Bailey Paisner. Swing and a miss, strike 1. That one inside, ball one. Spector and Nathanson both scoring on that two-run double from Kaylee Boulay. A big hit with 2 outs to give the Lions the lead as Paisner chases that one upstairs for strike 2. That one catches the inside corner as Paisner goes down on strikes. But Newton South, off 2 big RBI hits from Yasmin Salim and Kaylee Boulay, takes the lead at the end of 1. Our score, the Newton South Lions 3, the Masconomet Chieftains 2. Already plenty of excitement in the first frame of this ball game. 5 combined runs scored between these two teams. And it will be the 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up for Masconomet in the top of the second. McCormick, Brown, and Palermo. Leading off for Masconomet here, the right fielder, number 9, Emma McCormick. High ball 1. Another high one, ball 2. Nathanson attacking high, but just a little too high to start this inning. That one hits the zone, strike 1. You know, in softball as in baseball, sometimes when you have a shaky inning as the pitcher to start, second inning can present you with an opportunity to bounce back against the lower end of the order. 2-2 the count here to McCormick. That one misses low and away, ball 3. And that one fouled off as McCormick stays alive. Nathanson fooled her into swinging on the rise ball there, but McCormick still battling here with a full count. And again, she fouls it to the backstop. Count still full. We'll have our third try at the payoff pitch coming up here. This one hit in play. Andre charging in to get it. Throw to first. Not in time as McCormick legs out the infield single. That's the thing. The baseline's significantly shorter in softball than in baseball, so the infield hit a much greater possibility. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. At the plate for Masconomet, the first baseman, number 23, Izzy Brown. Chases the rise ball upstairs for strike 2. And a swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 strikes as Nathanson picks up her third K of the day. Now batting the designated player, number 8, Amelia Palermo. That one in the zone, strike one. That one low, ball one. That one hits it, strike two. That's high ball two. 2-2 the count. And Palermo does not fall for the low fastball there, ball three. Another full count here. And the rise ball misses high, ball four. For the second inning in a row, it's 2 on and 1 out for the Chieftains as they cycle around to the top of the order with the left fielder, number 7, Ali Kelter. Kelter went down on strikes her first time up, shows bunt, lays down, picked up by Nathanson, thrown to first in time for out number 2. But Kelter does her job moving the runners along. 2 down, runners at second and third. Up comes the shortstop, number 15, Sabrina Caffarelli. First pitch in the zone, strike one. Caffarelli, her first time up back in the first inning, she got an infield single to short and then later came in to score. That one gets out of control, and the wild pitch will bring in the tying run, and the throw got away. Palermo almost made a break for home, but decided against it. All tied up at 3 as McCormick in to score on the wild pitch. 1-1 the count to Caffarelli. Line shot into center. That's going to drop in and give Masconomet the lead. It's been back and forth already. A new team has taken the lead every half inning so far in this game. Now batting, the third baseman, number 13, Angie Vecchio. Takes ball one there. Vecchio got a single her last time up and came in to score. Skies this one straight up in the air. Well, that one was a little bit close for my comfort. But it lands harmlessly in the bleachers for a long and high strike one. That one just barely misses ball two. 4-3, Masconomet leads Newton South here in the top of the second inning. Vecchio slices that one foul and out of play, strike two. Runner at first, 2 down. That one again, close miss. Full count. Masconomet's had a lot of long at-bats so far in this one. Working up that pitch count on Nathanson. Hard grounder here, and it bounces off Paisner, recovers underhands to first, and that's out number 3. A good recovery by the Lions' second baseman, and you can see there the difference between juggling a ball on the right side of the infield versus the left, just a shorter distance to go to the base to get the out. We move to the bottom of the second with the score, Masconomet 4, Newton South 3. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters coming up for Newton South, Sasaki, Andrade, and Cool. Leading off for the Lions, the left fielder, number 6, Mana Sasaki, takes strike one. Bottom of the order got a rally started for Masconomet in the top half of the inning. We'll see if Sasaki can start something here for Newton South as she takes an inside ball one. Tips that one, strike two. Goes off the ump as he walks off the sting of that one. Ump's okay, and we resume the action. Sasaki behind in the count, 1-2. And could not catch up with that one. That pitch dropped low on her, and she goes down on strikes. That is the second strikeout of the game so far for Sydney Vocino. Now batting the shortstop, number 4, Maddie Andrade, as she skies this one in the infield. Shortstop calling for it, and Caffarelli makes the catch for a quick second out. 2 down, and up comes the right fielder, number 2, Lila Cool. First pitch, and she was a little out in front of that one as she fouls it off for strike one. Cool flew out to right her last time up, trying to get the offense going with 2 outs here. That one gonna miss, ball one. That one gonna miss, ball two. Cool, jammed on that one, and it's caught at second for out number 3. Vocino bounces back well in the second inning and puts Newton South down in order. Our score at the end of 2, the Masconomet Chieftains 4, the Newton South Lions 3. Due up for Masconomet in the top of the third will be Katsos, Martin, and Quimby. Leading off for Masconomet, the second baseman, number 12, Delilah Katsos, takes strike one. Masconomet has scored 2 runs exactly in each of the first 2 innings of this game. As this one's a chopper right back to the pitcher, and Nathanson takes care of it for out number 1. Now batting, the catcher, number 10, Gianna Martin. First pitch gets jammed just barely out of reach. Riley Cabrera was giving it a bit of a chase, but not able to get it. Strike one. This one sliced foul and over the backstop. Strike two. Martin, her last time up, had a big 2-out, 2-run single back in the first inning. Drove in the first runs of the ball game. Skies another one foul, and this is a problem that Nathanson ran into against Martin the last time she faced her. Got ahead in the count, but then just couldn't quite finish her off, in part because of a lot of foul balls. This one skied into shallow center, and just out of reach for Andrade, as Martin comes up with another single. Like with any sport, sometimes it can be a game of inches, and that one just inches away from being out number 2. Instead, 1 out and a runner at first. Showing bunt, and it misses for a wild pitch. They won't need a sacrifice to move Martin up to second now. And they can allow the batter to swing away. At the plate is the center fielder, number 4, Amy Quimby. Another low one gets away from Spector. Back-to-back wild pitches. Moves Martin all the way to third. Quimby, her last time up, popped out to second to end the first inning. Another low one from Nathanson. This time it's blocked by Spector, but it's still ball 3. And it's going to be a 4-pitch walk to Quimby as she trots down to first. Second walk of the game for Masconomet. Now up the right fielder, number 9, Emma McCormick. Runner goes. Spector goes for the cutoff throw and almost caught Martin moving back to third. I didn't even see what the pitch itself was called. I'm not sure whether it counts 1-0 or 0-1, but it doesn't matter as McCormick lives this one out to center. Caught by Salim, throws it back to the infield as they're going to try for a pickoff at second, but it's dropped. Martin will score on the sac fly by Emma McCormick. And so now with a runner at second and 2 down, up comes the first baseman, number 23, Izzy Brown. High ball 1. That one does hit the zone for strike 1. Oh, the ball got lost in the outfield. I was turning my head down to update the count on my scoreboard graphic, and then all of a sudden, I turn around, I see Quimby breaking for third on what must have been a throwing error. That's a low ball 2 to Brown. 2-1 the count. Brown struck out her last time up. Hits a hard grounder, fielded well by Paisner. Throw to first in time. Big stop by Paisner there to finish the inning. But Masconomet puts a run on the board for the third consecutive inning. As we move to the bottom of the third, the score, Masconomet 5, Newton South 3. It'll be the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up for the Lions, Spector, Nathanson, and Salim. Sydney Vocino back in the circle for Masconomet after a nice bounce-back second inning where she put the Lions down in order. Leading off for Newton South, the catcher, number 67, Zoe Spector, lifts the first pitch she sees over the outstretched glove of Caffarelli, and it's a leadoff hit. Spector was able to reach on an error by the shortstop her first time up. This time gets a clean single. Now batting the pitcher, number 28, Sophie Nathanson. Nathanson last time up drew a walk and later came in to score. Takes strike one there. And fouled off that one, got jammed a little inside, strike two. Hits a hard grounder to second. It's juggled a bit, but it is fielded and works basically like a sacrifice play as Nathanson will be out at first, but moves Spector up to second. A good recovery on a potential bobble there by the second baseman, Delilah Katsos. Now at the plate, the center fielder, number 1, Yasmin Salim. She skies one. Going to stay in the infield, and it'll be an easy catch for Katsos for out number 2. Some very aggressive swinging early in the count from Newton South. Now batting the first baseman, number 8, Riley Cabrera. 2 down, runner at second. That one high. Well snagged by Martin to prevent a wild pitch. Ball 1. Cabrera popped out to second her last time up. You know she wants to get a hit here with a teammate in scoring position and a chance to cut into the deficit. Chases the rise ball, strike 1. Vocino attacking high against Cabrera the first couple of pitches. That one misses high and away, ball 2. Big swing and a miss. Strike 2. And this time slices it foul and over the backstop. Cabrera staying alive, fighting with a 2-2 count. 2 down, runner at second here in the bottom of the third. Cabrera golfs one sky high, but within range for the center fielder, and she makes the catch for out number 3. At the end of 3 hours score, Masconomet 5, Newton South 3. And with the Lions bats going cold the last couple of innings, they really need their defense to step up and keep Masconomet from further building their lead. The 9-1-2 hitters, Palermo, Kelter, and Caffarelli, due up here in the top of the 4th. The Chieftains have scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 in the third. Newton South got 3 in the first and has since been shut out in the second and third innings. The deficit's still very manageable at just 2 runs. But the Lions' defense has yet to produce a goose egg on the scoreboard so far. Leading off for Masconomet, the designated player, number 8, Amelia Palermo. First pitch from Nathanson, gonna miss, ball 1. Palermo, her last time up, drew a walk and later came in to score back in the second inning. Takes strike 1 there. And hits again, strike 2. Ooh, did she go around? No, she checked her swing, high ball 2. Misses with the curveball there, high and away, ball 3. A full count here to Palermo. And skips that one in the dirt, and Palermo fights back to draw her second walk of the day. Now batting, the left fielder, number 7, Allie Kelter. Swinging away for strike 1 there. Kelter 0 for 1 so far today with a strikeout and a sacrifice bunt. That one misses for a ball. Spector tries the pickoff throw, but Palermo gets back. One and 1 the count. Hard hit up the middle. That'll go for a single. Oh, the runner's trying for third. Palermo running aggressive, and draws the throw to third, which allows Kelter to advance. That play still scored as simply a single, but some aggressive base running from the Chieftains put two in scoring position with nobody out. Now batting the shortstop, number 15, Sabrina Caffarelli. Well, hello, softball. So nice of you to stop by as it zips past our collective heads here in the third base side bleachers. Foul ball, strike one. That one gonna miss. Ball one. Caffarelli so far today 2 for 2 with 2 singles, a run, and an RBI. Slice this one, staying in the infield, and Paisner just barely reaches up to make the catch. Big first out get for Newton South. Now batting the third baseman, number 13, Angie Vecchio. First pitch hits the zone, strike one. Vecchio so far today 1 for 2 with a single, a run scored, and a ground out to second. Hard bouncer fielded by Andrade, gonna go to first and got him, and they're gonna try for the double play, and they got him. The run will count, but it's a 6-3-5 double play for Newton South to end the inning. Not often you get to enter a 6-3-5 double play. Good stab at it by Andrade. A good throw to first. And then Riley Cabrera, ever the heads-up first baseman, saw that Kelter was trying to cheat her way to third off of the force play at first. Made a quick throw to third to get her out there. Palermo did cross the plate before Kelter was out at third. And so the run does still count because you can only prevent a run from scoring with a force out at first, or with a force out period. But as long as everyone who is forced to run either reaches safely or in the case of this inning is put out but doesn't end the inning, then the run does still count. I know that's my explanation there was not great, but it's a rare situation that you get something like that where the batter is put out and the inning does end on the play, but the run still counts. It's not often that you see that. It'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Boulay, Paisner, and Sasaki coming up for the Lions. Leading off the third baseman, number 11, Kaylee Boulay. First pitch, she skies that one. Is it playable? No, just off the top of that back fence there to make it a dead ball, strike one. Boulay had the biggest hit of the game so far for Newton South back in the first inning, a 2-out, 2-run ground rule double. Newton South has not scored since that play and has only gotten one base hit. Boulay hits a hard bouncer past the first baseman into right. A leadoff single for Kaylee Boulay. Runner at first, and up comes the second baseman, number 7, Bailey Paisner. Shows bunt, whiffs on it. That'll be strike one. Not sure if they called it a foul ball or a clean whiff. If it was a clean whiff, then Boulay could have still taken second, but wasn't sure if it was a dead ball. That bunt fouls off the body, strike two, and the sack bunt strategy goes out the window with that, because if you foul off an attempted bunt with 2 strikes, you are out. It's different from a swinging foul ball where you're still alive. You can strike out on a foul bunt. And Paisner will instead strike out on a clean swing there. 1 out. Now batting the left fielder, number 6, Mana Sasaki. She shows bunt and fouls it into the catcher's glove, and this is going to be a double play to end the inning. What a disastrous turnabout for the Newton South offense, as the sack bunt strategy completely fails there. The 2-3 double play ends it. And at the end of 4, our score, Masconomet 6, Newton South 3. Due up in the top of the 5th will be Katsos, Martin, and Quimby. Leading off for the Chieftains in the top of the 5th inning, the second baseman, number 12, Delilah Katsos. Takes ball 1 there. That's a high ball 2. Katsos, her last time up, grounded out to the pitcher. That one catches the low corner for strike 1. Katsos 0 for 2 so far today with the strikeout and the ground out. That one's going to miss, and it's a hitter's count at 3-1. This one's sliced foul and out of play, and we've got a full count. Hits a chopper to third, fielded by Boulay. Long throw to first in time for out number 1. Now batting the catcher, number 10, Gianna Martin. First pitch, pops it up, and it is grabbed by Nathanson. Somehow held onto that ball with it pinned to her back. Not often you see a highlight-worthy pop out to the pitcher, but there you go. 2 quick outs for Nathanson as she is hoping to hold Masconomet scoreless for the first inning today. Amy Quimby fouls off the first pitch, strike 1. Quimby so far today has popped out to second, drawn a walk. Shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes strike 2. Oh, and 2 the count, 2 down, base is empty. Hard grounder up the middle, that's going to get through for a 2-out single. So Nathanson cannot put them down in order, but could still get out of this inning scoreless, as up comes the right fielder, number 9, Emma McCormick. That one fouled off the backstop, strike 1. McCormick, so far today, 1 for 1 with a single, a run scored, a sac fly, and an RBI. That's a high ball, and an attempted steal is going to be successful. Throw sails into center, but Salim there to back it up. Pitch itself is ball 1. Quimby now in scoring position after stealing second. That one misses low for ball 2. That one just a bit outside, ball 3. A hitter's count to McCormick at 3-1. Hard grounder up the middle, gets through the gap. Quimby stumbles going around third, and she still will come in to score. Masconomet's scoring streak continues with back-to-back 2-out hits as the Chieftains increase their lead to 7-3. McCormick with her second RBI. Now batting the first baseman, number 23, Izzy Brown. Swings and misses at that one for strike 1. Brown 0 for 2 so far today with a strikeout and a ground out to second as she takes a low ball 1 there. Runner on first, 2 down. Tips that one to the backstop, strike 2. And this one launched deep out to right. Cool going back and makes the catch right in front of the fence to end the inning. I forgot to switch this to the 5th inning on my scoreboard, but there we go. We move to the bottom of the 5th now as Masconomet continues to inch their lead higher and higher. The Chieftains now leading by 4 with a score of 7-3. The Lions going to be hoping that the top of their order, Andrade, Cool, and Spector, can get something going on offense, as the Lions have not scored since the first inning. Leading off here, the shortstop, number 4, Maddie Andrade, fouls that first pitch for strike 1. Andrade, so far today, is 1 for 2 with a single, a run scored, and a pop out to short. That rise ball got way out of control there. High ball 1. Andrade launches one deep down the right field side, but it's going to curve foul. 1-2 the count. Makes contact. It's a slow roller to second, fielded by Katsos, and flipped to first for the out. One down here in the bottom of the 5th. Now up comes the right fielder, number 2, Lila Cool. Cool 0 for 2, but now 1 for 3 as she lines one into center. And oh boy, that one was a brief scare there. Cool didn't realize the center fielder was making the throw to first, and she rounded first instead of going off to her right. She's lucky the first baseman didn't notice that she was there for the potential tag, and she was able to dive back to the bag. But Cool does ultimately get the 1-out single. First pitch to Zoe Spector, going to miss for ball 1. The Newton South catcher so far today, 1 for 2 with a reach-on error and a single and run scored. Lines a shot up the middle. Back-to-back singles for Newton South, and Cool running aggressively down to third as the Lions might have found their spark on offense. They've got runners at the corners now with 1 out. Now batting, hoping to help out her own cause here. The pitcher, number 28, Sophie Nathanson. Nathanson 0 for 1 so far today with a walk, a run scored, and a ground out to second. First pitch is a high ball. Inside there, ball 2. Nathanson has drawn 1 free pass already. If she can draw another, she could load the bases. Takes ball 3 there. Hitters count to Nathanson here with a 3-0 count. Ooh, that one just catches the high corner, strike 1. That one very close to ball 4, but not quite. Nathanson hits a shot up the middle, and a run is going to come in. Cool comes home, and the Lions have their first run since the first inning. One out, runners at first and second now as up comes the center fielder, number 1, Yasmin Salim. A courtesy runner, and it'll be the senior Maya Poskover running in place of the pitcher Sophie Nathanson. Showing bunt, Salim drops it down right in front of the plate, and they can't make a run. They don't make a throw anywhere. Martin just seemed to get confused. Maybe she thought that because it touched the bat or something that, I don't know. I'm not sure what she thought there, but The surprise bunt single from Yasmin Salim loads the bases with 1 out. As up comes the first baseman, number 8, Riley Cabrera. First pitch gonna miss, ball 1. Cabrera, so far today, she popped out to second on her first at bat as she fouls that one off for strike 1. Second at bat, she flew out to center. So Cabrera is searching for her first hit of the game. One and one the count. Bases loaded, 1 out. Takes strike 2. Tying run at first here in the bottom of the 5th. That one low for ball 2. A tight situation here. Newton South trying to launch a comeback. And Cabrera keeps herself alive by getting a piece of that one. Lifts one into shallow right. That's going to drop in safely. There might be a play at second. They did get Salim at second as she was late to take off. But that is still going to drive in 1 run. So you can score that one a 9-6 fielder's choice. But still an RBI for Riley Cabrera. Kaylee Boulay skies one deep to left center. Left fielder going back and makes the catch. And that will end the inning, but Newton South does get 2 on the board. They cut the Masconomet lead in half. Our score at the end of 5, Masconomet 7, Newton South 5. So certainly tough for Newton South there. As you can't help but wonder with that shallow hit to right, if the runners had maybe gone a little bit more aggressively, maybe they would have had the bases loaded with still just 1 out. That ball by Boulay would turn into a sac fly, and it'd be a 1-run ball game. But can't do much with coulda, shoulda, wouldas. We move on to the top of the 6th inning. It's a 2-run ball game here as the Newton South offense able to wake itself up there in the bottom of the 5th. They'll be facing the 9-1-2 hitters for Masconomet. That'll be Palermo, Kelter, and Caffarelli. Newton South's only got 2 innings left to try and come back in this one, and it's got to start with the defense. At the plate, the designated player, number 8, Amelia Palermo, shows bunt and whiffs on it, strike 2. Masconomet has scored at least 1 run in every inning so far this game. They scored 2 each in the first and second and scored 1 each in the last 3. That one just a bit outside, ball 1. That's going to be a high ball 2. Palermo has walked twice today and scored twice out of the 9 spot in the order. That one misses, ball 3. Nathanson was inches away from getting strike 3 on the third pitch, but now 1 ball away from issuing Palermo another walk. Palermo lifts one into center, and it's covered by Salim for out number 1. One out. Now up comes the left fielder, number 7, Ali Kelter. First pitch hits a dribbler to short, fielded by Andrade. Throw to first is not going to be in time. Kelter beats the throw to the bag for the infield single. Now batting the shortstop, number 15, Sabrina Caffarelli. And first pitch, she pops it up into shallow left and out of reach for Sasaki as everyone reaches safely. Sasaki called off Andrade on that one. Might have been a ball that Andrade could have gone back for, but a tough call to make in shallow left to be sure. Now batting the third baseman, number 13, Angie Vecchio. Takes strike 1. Runners at first and second. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. That one's low for ball 1. Hard chopper to short. Andrade fields it, goes to third to get the lead runner. Big second out get. Now batting the second baseman, number 12, Delilah Katsos. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. That's going to be a high ball 1. 1-1 the count, 2 down, runners at first and second. Big swing, fouled off, strike 2. Katsos grounded out to third her last time up. Before that, grounded out to the pitcher and struck out, so she's 0 for 3 so far today. That one gonna miss, ball 2. Two and 2 the count. This one skied out to right, Cool tracking it and makes the catch for out number 3. And for the first time today, Sophie Nathanson and the Newton South defense hold Masconomet scoreless. Now the question is, can the Lions respond on offense and possibly complete a comeback? They're going to be relying on the bottom of the order to try and light a spark here in the bottom of the 6th, as it'll be Paisner, Sasaki, and Andrade due up. And we got a pinch hitter here, number 21. And that's Haley. Not sure the last name is, wasn't. Haley Margolis. That's a low ball, 2. Batting in place of Bailey Paisner here. Hits a hard grounder, but right at the shortstop. Caffarelli, the throw complete for out number 1. One down. Up comes the left fielder, number 6, Mana Sasaki. First pitch, foul tips it, strike 1. Fouls off another one, strike 2. Sasaki had a rough time of it her last at bat, tried to lay down a sac bunt and ended up popping it into the catcher's glove for a double play. Hits a chopper, but right back to Vocino for out number 2. Two down, base is empty, and we cycle back to the top of the order with the shortstop, number 4, Maddie Andrade. Andrade 1 for 3 so far today with a single and a run scored as she fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. She grounded out to second her last time up. Hard liner up the middle. Andrade picks up her second hit of the day. Oh, a little bit of extra excitement at the end of the play as she does dive back to first base and keeps the 6th inning alive. Now batting the right fielder, number 2, Lila Cool. Last time up, Cool got a single and came in to score. Showing bunt, pulls back, a strike, a throw down to second, and the throw was off the mark as Andrade steals second. Newton South trying to see if they can manufacture a run with some aggressive base running. A runner now in scoring position. Tying run is at the plate with Masconomet leading Newton South 7-5. That one gonna miss, ball 1. Cool 1 for 3 so far today with a run scored. Fouls that one off, strike 2. Chops that one foul as Cool continues to battle. 1-2 still the count. Off speed, and she hits it off the hand of the shortstop. Everyone reaches safe. Newton South still trying to fight here in the bottom of the 6th with 2 outs. Now up comes the catcher, number 67, Zoe Spector. Tying run is at first, 2 down. Spector so far today, 2 for 3 with a pair of singles and a reach on error. First one comes in high for a ball, and Cool easily takes second there. No throw as they're worried about Andrade at third. And they're going to intentionally walk Spector to load the bases. So with the tying run now in scoring position, they create a force at every base. And up comes the pitcher, number 28, Sophie Nathanson. Nathanson got the RBI single last time up. Could she possibly tie the game here as she takes ball one? Lifts one out to center field, over the center fielder's head. Newton South ties the game. Spector rounding third, and it's a ground rule double as it went under the fence. Spector will have to go back to third, but Sophie Nathanson, with one big swing of the bat, ties us up at 7 here in the bottom of the 6th. What a rally for Newton South. 2 outs, down to 4 outs left in the entire game, and they rattle off 2 singles, an intentional walk, and a 2-run ground rule double. Yasmin Salim lifts one into shallow center, but it is caught. That will end the inning, but Sophie Nathanson driving in each of the last 3 runs, or no, 3 of the last 4 runs scored by Newton South, driven in by Nathanson, as Newton South, despite allowing at least 1 run to score in 5 of the first 6 innings of this ball game, has now come back to tie it. Well, now it's very simple. Whichever team scores the most number of runs in any of the upcoming innings wins the ball game. We are tied going into the 7th and final inning of regulation, which I now have to specify because we are tied. It'll be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Martin, Quimby, and McCormick, coming up for Masconomet. Blech. Sophie Nathanson with the big game-tying hit after coming through with a big pitching inning in the top of the 6th, as she held Masconomet scoreless for the first time last inning. The question is, can she do it again and put her team in a position for a potential walk-off score in the bottom half? Leading off for the Chieftains, the catcher, number 10, Gianna Martin. First pitch in the zone, strike 1. Martin, her last time up, popped out to the pitcher. That was the ball that Nathanson had to catch off her back, and this time it's a simple comebacker. Martin hits it right back to Nathanson for the 2nd at-bat in a row, as Nathanson gets the first out herself. Now batting the center fielder, number 4, Amy Quimby. First pitch popped up just left of the line, and the foul ball is called. So that'll be strike 1. Quimby, who caught the fly ball to end the bottom of the 6th for Newton South, but also watched that double from Nathanson fly over her head. You know she wants to try and get something started for Masconomet here. Takes a high ball 1. That one fouled off, strike 2. Quimby, her last time at the plate, got a 2-out single, stole second, and then came in to score on a hit by Emma McCormick. Lifts this one deep into right. Cool, tracking it well for out number 2. A strong start for Nathanson, but we've seen her get off to some strong starts, only to struggle to finish the inning. Let's see what she does here at the plate. The right fielder, number 9, Emma McCormick, hits one past Boulay at third, but it curves foul for strike 1. That one catches the outside corner for strike 2. Nathanson ahead in the count, 0-2. Hard hit up the middle, just past Andrade. It's a 2-out single for McCormick. The Masconomet bats are going to make Nathanson work for it. Still 2 down, and up comes the first baseman, number 23, Izzy Brown. Brown flew out to right her last time up. Before that, grounded out to second, and before that, struck out. She is 0 for 3 so far. Foul tips that one. Strike 1. Slices that one foul and out of play. Strike 2. Masconomet once again down to their final strike in the top of the 7th. Brown golfs this one into shallow right. Drops in fair. And McCormick advances down to third as Brown dropped that in about the only spot it could land for a base hit in that area. And we got runners at first and third as the pitcher, Vocino, is going to take over at the plate for Palermo. And they're going to send out a pinch runner in place of Brown over at first base. That is number 5, Hazel Hauk, who will represent the potential second run. The go-ahead score is at third, as that was a dangerous pitch there. Comes in low, well blocked by Spector. A wild pitch here could give Masconomet the lead. Pitcher against pitcher here. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Nathanson got the best of Vocino their last 2 meetings, with Nathanson getting an RBI hit each of her last 2 at-bats. Now, face-off reversed as Vocino catches air again for strike 2. This one lined over the second baseman's glove as Masconomet takes the lead. The pitcher, Sydney Vocino, comes through with the RBI single as Masconomet answers with a 2-out rally of their own to take the lead again 8-7. Another pinch runner coming in. Looks like Palermo will be running for Vocino as they want to save her legs for pitching duties in the bottom half of the inning. Ali Kelter, the left fielder, comes up, hits a chopper, past third, and another run comes in. 4 straight hits for Masconomet with 2 outs in the inning as they build their lead up to 9-7. Hauk, the pinch runner, comes in to score. Now up Sabrina Caffarelli. First pitch low for ball 1. That one fouled off for strike 1. Caffarelli singled her last time up. Before that, popped out to second. Before that, got an RBI single. And before that, singled again. She is 3 for 4 as she takes low ball 2. Hits a chopper up the middle. That gets through. Another run might come in. Throw is cut off, and Palermo in to score. It's a 10-7 lead now as the Chieftains have put 3 runs on the board, all with 2 outs. And now a meeting at the circle with Nathanson and Spector in what has been a brutally tough inning for Newton South. Got the first 2 outs, got each of the next 2 batters to 2 strikes. Actually got each of the next 3 batters to 2 strikes, but just can't get that last out. Now up the third baseman, number 13, Angie Vecchio. Low ball 1. This one popped up, foul and out of play. Strike 1. Vecchio last time up grounded into a fielder's choice at third. Before that, hit into a 6-3-5 double play. And before that, grounded out to second. This time she lines one into right center, and that's going to drop. At least 1 run going to come in, and they're going to try for a second run. Caffarelli hustles around, 2 runs in off the single to right center from Vecchio. 5 runs this inning as Masconomet has opened the floodgates. Now batting is the second baseman, number 12, Delilah Katsos. Fouls that one off. Strike 1. And that's a low ball 2. 2-1, the count to Katsos. Hard shot up the middle, another base hit. That is 7 2-out hits in a row for the Chieftains. And now we cycle back to the batter that led off the inning, the catcher, number 10, Gianna Martin. That one hits the zone, strike one. Martin lined out to the pitcher to lead off this inning. Now skies one into right. Kuhl is tracking it and catches it for out number 3. The top half of the inning mercifully comes to a close, but boy, after all that Newton South did to come back from a 4-run deficit over the past couple of innings, the defensive metaphorical dam bursts in the top of the 7th as Masconomet generates 7 consecutive 2-out singles, putting 5 runs on the board to take the lead. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 hitters, Cabrera, Boulay, and Morgales. Due up here. Vocino trying to finish the complete game win for Masconomet. Leading off for the Lions here in the bottom of the 7th, the first baseman, number 8, Riley Cabrera. Big swing and a miss for strike one. Cabrera got an RBI 9-6 fielder's choice her last time up. High ball one. Golfs this one into shallow right. If it stays fair, it does. And Cabrera rounding first, aggressively heading for second, slides in safe. Aggressive base running from Riley Cabrera as she kicks off the inning with an extra base hit. First base hit of the day for Riley Cabrera, as the last hit she got would have been a single if not for a runner being thrown out at second. Now batting the third baseman, number 11, Kaylee Boulay. Change up there, misses high for ball one. Boulay, her last time up, flew out to left. Skies that one. Foul and out of play for strike one.
Go, Juan. Good pitches here.
1-1 the count, no outs, runner at second. Chases the rise ball upstairs and fouls it off for strike two. And this one launched deep out to right. It's caught. Cabrera has to retreat back to second. She dives back. Boy, a classic case of good contact, bad placement for Kaylee Boulay as she launched a missile there, but it was straight at the right fielder. Now batting the second baseman, number 21, Haley Margolis, excuse me. First pitch, and she skies one. Out to right center, tracked by Quimby for out number 2. Newton South down to their final out with their number 9 hitter. The left fielder, number 6, Mana Sasaki. Swing and a miss. Makes contact. It's slow roller to second. Picked up by Katsos. Throw to first. Beats her by a step. And that is your ball game. Well, that will do it. A winning streak had to end today. And unfortunately for the Lions, it's theirs. The final score, the Masconomet Chieftains 12, the Newton South Lions 7. Masconomet improves to 13-6 on the season with their 5th straight win. And Newton South falls to 11-7 as their magical 8-game win streak finally comes to an end. But boy, what an exciting ball game that one was. The two teams going back and forth in the first inning. Masconomet scoring 2, Newton South scoring 3. Then Masconomet scores 2 again in the second, and then scores once in the third, fourth, and fifth innings to go up 7-3. But then Newton South slowly built their way back, scoring twice in the fifth and sixth innings to tie it up at 7. But then Masconomet broke open the floodgates in the top of the 7th, scoring 5 2-out runs to blow it open and ultimately get the win. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. This is my last Newton South softball game for this regular season. You know, we'll see how schedules line up for the playoffs, as a number of different teams that I work for are heading to the playoffs this spring, so we'll see how the schedules shake out. But if this is my last Newton South softball game for this 2026 season, I just want to say how grateful I am for the opportunity to come out here and cover this team. It's been a little while since I covered softball, and it was so much fun getting to cover it for a few games this spring. Every one of these games I've covered has been a high-scoring thriller of a contest. As this Newton South team, they're young, but they've got some aggressive bats, and you know they're hungry to keep growing and get better in the years to come. I want to give a special shout out to Newton South head softball coach Jesus Rodriguez for reaching out to me between the winter and spring seasons to see if I could cover some games for this team and give me this opportunity. I'm incredibly grateful for that. I want to thank you guys, the fans, for tuning in and watching these games. I hope you've enjoyed watching them as much as I've enjoyed streaming them. But that's going to put a wrap on this broadcast. Remember, if you enjoyed this broadcast, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Any comments you would like to say after the live stream is concluded, you can be posted in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of this video, where you can find some links related to me, my personal website, jessesports.com, my email, and my social media accounts on Instagram and Facebook. I'll be posting highlights from this game probably sometime tomorrow here on this channel, as well as on my Instagram and Facebook accounts. Masconomet 12, Newton South 7. From Newton South High School in Newton, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.